I stand at the front door. I have done this so many times before, but it does not get any easier. I have no idea who lives here. I just know that I'm about to change their lives forever. I ring the doorbell. A lady answers the door and gives me a bewildered smile upon seeing my uniform. I ask to come in, and she lets me in without question. I take off my hat and follow her into the lounge, past toys and drawings that clearly belong to children. I tell her to sit down and ask her if she is alone. She tells me she is. Her children are at school and her husband has gone to work. I check her name and ask her to confirm the name of her husband, and she tells me. She asks me what is wrong. I can see that it's dawning upon her that I have bad news. What do I say? No words are the right words, but I'm acutely aware that whatever words I use will have a profound effect upon her forever. That is a huge responsibility. I tell her that we are currently at the scene of a serious collision. We believe that one of the people involved is her husband, and that I'm very sorry to have to tell her that he has died. The shock is replaced by disbelief. Am I sure it's him? It can't be. She only saw him a few hours ago. His tea's in the oven. They're going to friends at the weekend. How does she tell the children? And so our journey together begins. I sit with her. I tell her that there will be a full investigation into the circumstances of the collision. I tell her that this investigation will be lengthy and complex, and right from the start I try to manage what she can expect. I talk about post-mortems, the investigation process, court hearings and the press. I know that she is not taking this in. Shock and trauma will prevent her from processing it, but I reassure her that I will be there with her every step of the way. She asks if she can see her husband, and I promise her that I will do my best to arrange that. She asks me what's happened, and I tell her that the exact circumstances are still under investigation, so I'm not able to tell her much at the moment. Eventually, I leave her. I agonise over the words I used and replay the scenario, wondering if I got it right. I am back at the front door. She opens it and lets me in. My news today is no easier to deliver. Today, their 2 children are there. I see them as they are ushered out of the room, one too young to understand and the other confused and bewildered. I try to push away the thoughts of all the milestones they will miss celebrating with their dad. Today, I have to tell her that the post-mortem has taken place, but the pathologist has taken the brain for a more detailed examination. I decide to call it the brain instead of his brain to try to impersonalise the situation. Does this have any effect? I have no idea, but I have put a lot of thought into this. The look of horror and devastation on her face tells me that it has not softened the blow. I did not really expect that it would. I also have to explain that there may have to be a second post-mortem at the request of the other party involved in the collision, who is under investigation regarding the death of her husband. Her horror turns to anger. How can this be fair? It's not fair. None of it is. I am standing at the front door. Today, I am taking her to say goodbye to her husband. We stand in the chapel of rest, and I do my best to describe what she will see. I walk in with her, and I put my arms around her. She collapses, sobbing. She composes herself, and I stand back, trying to be unobtrusive. It is upsetting to hear her tell him how much she misses him, how the children are struggling without him. I feel like an intruder, and I try and distract myself from this truly heartbreaking scene with thoughts of grocery lists. It only partially works. Perhaps those are some of the hardest parts over with now. The investigation continues, and I keep her updated regularly with progress, although I can hear the tension in her voice return whenever I speak my name on the phone. The investigation is slow. I reassure her that this is normal. There are times when she is angry with me, but I know it's not personal. That does not stop me thinking about how I can try and make things better for her before I realise I cannot. I am back at the front door. I'm here to tell her that a decision has been made to charge the other party with causing the death of her husband. I discuss the court process with her and the sentencing guidelines. I tell her that sentencing for road death is woefully inadequate. I always say this because it is. She's dragged through a trial. The facts are discussed in detail, and the defendant is clearly remorseless. The tension is almost unbearable as we wait for the verdict to be given. Thankfully, it is guilty. I watch her incredulity as the defence counsel tell the court just how remorseful the defendant is and ask for leniency in the sentence. The sentence is passed, pitiful in comparison to the crime. It has been an exhausting roller coaster of emotions. Trials always are. They do not get any easier either. I am here at the front door. One last time, I say goodbye. I will think of her and her children in times to come. I remember them all.